Hey, Chad Tomaszewski with TSI today. You cannot miss this show. We're at the Fortinet Cup. We've gone out of studio, live at the Canadian PGA Tour here in Calgary. We're going to be talking about cybersecurity and how it affects your business. Join us.
I'm Chad Tomaszewski, Chief Growth Officer with Trident Communications. We're talking to industry leaders about the technology that's changing their business. This is TSI Today.
Hey, Chad Tomaszewski here with TSI today. We are live at the Fortinet Cup. As you can hear, the lawn tractors and lawnmowers driving behind us. We have a little bit of audio issue here, but we're just off of 9 and right off of the driving range. I'm here with Jeff with Fortinet at the Fortinet Cup, and I think a lot of people might ask Jeff is, what exactly is Fortinet? What do they provide?
So Fortinet is an international cybersecurity pure play company with over 13,000 employees. I think I've lost track of something like greater than 65 different products. And specifically, one of the 3 pillars that Fortinet's actually looking at is actually OT security. So they've actually put a lot of investment into the group, and I actually am part of, just in Canada alone, I think there's about 7 of us now, and probably internationally getting close to about 100 different people just looking at OT security.
Well, I think that's so important, the way things are changing inside the OT landscape specifically. We had a guest on previously that talked about a little bit about the difference between IT and OT. You asked you here, Jeff, because for us and our partnership specifically with Fortinet, it has to do with the OT provisioning of OT security with so many of our clients. Can we unpack that a little bit? What are we actually protecting?
Okay. In my perspective, I actually think OT security is what is anything that is cyber physical. And what I mean by that is if you have an incident or something breaks or something gets hacked or whatever you would like to actually call it, it affects the real world. So this isn't just industrial. This could be an HVAC system. This could be building automation. This could be elevators. Any and all of that. Internet of medical things. Those all affect people. So there's a safety and a risk associated with that. That is what I consider to be OT security.
Yeah, I'd fall right in line with that. A lot of our viewers would think it's just an industrial play, but it's smart buildings in downtown, elevator stopping, HVAC solutions, like you said. How do we make sure that these facilities are properly protected? What solutions are we going to use? And I know that's a loaded question. There are so many different ways we can go on this, but maybe just give me kind of a 36,000 foot view on some of the real simple things that we should be doing right away.
So it, to me, comes down to people, process, and technology. You need the people and the process in place first before you can really add that technology. If you don't get people buy-in, then they're not going to use it. I'll use a little more of an industrial perspective, but operators at, say, a refinery, if they don't believe in it, they're not going to use it, and they'll actively act against you to not use it. So that's where the people are. Yeah. So once you have the people convinced, then you need the processes in place. And once you have that process in place, then you can implement the technology. Yeah. So that from a super high, without really getting into it, that's where it definitely has to start.
No doubt. I think we're seeing the advent right now of OT, traditional OT security, or OT solutions as a whole. Becoming part of the cloud. And I think that's where the big changes happen. We look at OT traditionally, they're kind of on their own network, they're never exposed to the internet, they're not really, there. But with all the organizations we're working with today, I'll give you an example, smart buildings in downtown Calgary, the data that we're extracting and aggregating inside that data lake, picking out the information we want, it means that we have to have our OT networks in the cloud somewhere. Yes. Or on a network, which creates a whole level of vulnerability.
And that's where I think you're going to start to see less of the IT versus OT, and really what it's going to be is T. It's just going to be technology. You are already using a lot of the technologies that you've already seen in IT in an industrial or in building automation. You've got Windows boxes, you've got servers, you've got Linux systems. You're not doing anything extra special. It's the context and application that are going to be different. So we can use the same technology, just apply it in different ways.
Let's talk a little bit to Bill C-26, hot topic.
Yes.
It is terrifying to a lot of organizations. They're going, oh my God, I'm going to have to change my entire back-end infrastructure to be compliant with this. So is it that scary? Is it needed? What's your thoughts on it?
100% it's needed. I kind of believe this is a offshoot of or a fallout from the TSA, from the Colonial Pipeline, and this is our first stab at putting some legislation in place to put cybersecurity. Right now, companies are not required to admit they've had a cyber incident at all, and only if it actually affects the public do you ever actually really hear about it. So, yes, we definitely need it. The impact, truth be told, I think is going to be a little bit farther in the future than I think anybody in cybersecurity would really like.
How long is it going to take the industry as a whole to get up to speed with those?
So
Can it happen overnight?
No. Again, it's the people in the process. It's going to be an education. Larger companies already have systems in place. It's going to be the smaller companies. It's going to be the SMBs. It's going to be the small mom and pop shops that have transportation, because that's one of the topics that's in Bill C-26. They're going to now have to comply. So now it's going to have to be companies like Fortinet, companies like TSI, that are going to have to come in and actually help these companies get up to speed.
Excellent. Last question I have for you, and we're migrate to the roundtable here in a bit, but a question I've asked every guest we've had since we started this is really about young people. Now, Fortinet actually has some bursaries and different things that you guys do to help young people get involved. But you personally, and I guess Fortinet as a whole as well, how do you think we could do a better job of getting young people involved inside of technology?
Oh, definitely. We actually have security awareness training actually for K-12. All as well as on our NSE website. We can actually do levels NSE 1 through 3 for free. So that's really good. We also partner with universities and technical schools to get their labs stocked up, as well as I'm actually personally right now working with a university in BC to incorporate cybersecurity into their mechatronics program, as well as we actually also sponsor their master's degree in cybersecurity. So we're actually doing quite a bit.
That's absolutely fantastic. That's a great way to engage young people to be part of this. I think that technology as a whole is really what's running our lives today, and as it becomes more and more in tune with our daily lives, it's just you can't avoid it. And I think the more people that we have that really understand it and embrace it, the more inclusive it becomes for everybody.
100%.
Jeff, we're going to join you at the round table in a bit, but thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. Can you tell our viewers how to get a hold of you if they need to?
Probably the easiest way to get a hold of me is on LinkedIn. Just look up Jeff Brown from Fortinet, and I'll be there.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching TSI Today. I'm Chad Tomaszewski, Chief Growth Officer with Tridon Communications. Catch up with us next time when we learn more about technology and how it's changing business today.